It's not uncommon for people to have strong fears of the ocean and its unknown depths. While some fear the risk of drowning or getting lost at sea, others are afraid of what may swim beneath them. While sharks, eels, and even jellyfish are common creatures that most people want to avoid, it's the unknown that really disturbs most. Giant squids, alien-like plant life, and even more we have yet to discover may reside in the ocean. Here are 15 real and terrifying ocean creatures caught on tape. Number 15. The Stargazer fish. This fish gets its name from the eyes on the top of its head. This biological feature allows the fish to burrow beneath sand on the ocean floor and still keep an eye out for prey and protection. In addition, the stargazer's mouth also points upward, which allows for easier hunting. As if these spy features aren't enough, the stargazer fish also has the power to produce electricity to shock any threats, and has 2 venomous spines near its gills to kill prey and predators alike. Not only is the stargazer fish a dangerous threat to anything in its path, it has a pretty horrifying appearance as well. Its face has a constant furious expression, and when burrowing beneath sand, it appears to be an ancient rock that formed the face of a demonic creature. Seeing this face is a shock enough, and it's followed by a literal electrical shock, which makes these little sea creatures something you never want to swim across. Number 14. The dragonfish. The dragonfish actually refers to several unrelated types of fish. However, in this case we're talking about the deep-sea dragonfish from the Stomidae family. This scary looking fish has adapted to the depths of the sea where no plant life or light reaches. The dragonfish has light-producing organs to help it survive the pitch-black depths of the Atlantic Ocean. The dragonfish lives over 16,000 feet below the surface of the ocean and feeds mostly on marine fish and some deep-sea invertebrates. This fish has a rounded mouth, razor-sharp teeth, huge eyes, and of course a slightly glowing body. The dragonfish looks like something from a horrifying children's book, almost comedic but still terrifying. This fish is basically a poster child for creepy deep-sea creatures. Number 13. Frilled shark. This terrifying shark is a prehistoric survivor. The shark is often known as primitive or a living fossil because it has adapted so little over millions of years. Oftentimes, this prehistoric shark is compared to the sea serpent and may be a possible cause for historic sightings of the legend. The long eel-like body may be cause for this. The frilled shark's head is long and flat with a rounded snout. Above the large and angry appearing mouth, the frilled shark has 2 fairly large eyes which seem pure black. The frilled shark has about 50 or more teeth spaced apart and sharp as razors. The sharks can grow up to 6 feet in length, while the frilled shark does have a large mouth that gapes widely and sharp teeth to get the job done. They cannot deliver as hard of a bite as most common sharks. They mostly eat small fish and other small sharks. Again, many humans won't have to worry about this shocking sight, which many consider a modern-day dinosaur. The frilled shark lives about 5,000 feet below the ocean surface and has only been caught and spotted by professional divers associated with scientific studies. Number 12. Giant squid. The squid is already a majestic creature to most, the source of art and lore throughout the ages, and even a main course for certain meals. However, the colossal squid isn't your run-of-the-mill calamari. This type of squid dwells deep within the ocean and can measure as long as 46 feet and weigh over 1,650 pounds. The history of the colossal squid is almost as hard to believe as the creature itself. In 1925, the discovery of the squid came when 2 massive tentacles were found latched onto the bottom of a sperm whale. On February 22, 2007, the largest specimen ever was captured. When scientists measured the squid, it was only 14 feet in length, but this was believed to be because the tentacles shrank drastically post-mortem. Actual footage of this creature is quite rare. However, this video of the squid latching onto bait from a fisherman's boat shows how truly massive the creature is.
All sorts of drama going on here.
A colossal squid. The biggest squid on the planet.
See, he's hanging on to the gaff there. Oh, watch that mouth, he'll eat you alive, that one.
The squid could easily take down a smaller boat and leave nothing behind. The mass of the colossal squid is said to be caused by deep-sea gigantism, which is the tendency for deep-sea animals to be many times larger than their shallow water counterparts. This fact makes the ocean even more terrifying. Most assume that the deeper you go, the larger and more dangerous the animals become. Number 11. Sarcastic fringehead. This small fish is usually found in the Pacific Ocean, just off the coast of North America. Though the fish are small, they have extremely aggressive behavior and a startling appearance to match. The fringehead measures out to only about a foot in length and is mostly scaleless and a grayish-brown shade. These fish are very territorial, which is what leads to most of its aggressive behavior. The fringehead will attack any animal that comes within its territory, and even has head-to-head battles with other fringeheads. These battles consist of both fish, usually both male, opening their large mouths all the way and forcing them against each other. The gaping mouth is part of the fringehead's strength, and whomever has the wider mouth is considered to be the more dominant fish. Not only do their mouths distend widely, they have a set of dangerously sharp teeth for an even more damaging attack. Number 10. Giant isopod. These giant creepy crawlers are distant cousins of shrimp and crabs. Giant isopods mostly dwell in the depths of the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Oceans. Giant isopods measure to about 6 inches in length, which is considered gigantic compared to other breeds of isopods, and is due to deep water gigantism. There are also allegedly very rare breeds of isopods, known as supergiants, which measure to about 20 inches in length, though they have not been sighted in many years. Although the isopod offers no threat, and mostly scavenges for its food, its insect-like appearance is what makes it so terrifying. Many say it resembles a giant white roach, or even more closely a giant bed bug. If you have a fear of bugs, the isopod with its many legs and shell-like exterior is sure to give you shivers. As a bit of comfort, just remember that the giant isopod usually dwells about 560 feet underwater in pitch darkness. Number 9. Bobbitt worms. These long creepy crawlers look like something straight out of an 80s sci-fi. The deep-dwelling worm-like creatures almost resemble centipedes as they're long, nearly 10 feet in some cases, and have countless little legs to help them get around. The bobbitt worms bury themselves in sand or plant life on the ocean floor, leaving only their 5 antennas exposed. When they sense prey coming, they attack them, using their sharp teeth and toxin to kill and devour passing fish. These worms can actually cause devastation in ocean life. Throughout the years, several bobbitt worms have been accidentally introduced to artificial aquariums. For example, in March 2009, the Blue Reef Aquarium in Newquay, Cornwall found that a bobbitt worm had made its way into some collected sediment and grew while living in the aquarium. Several fish were injured, killed, or totally vanished while the worm was living there. Some coral was even torn in half. Employees eventually took the entire aquarium apart in search of the suspect and found the worm, which they later rehomed. They nicknamed the worm Barry. If a bobbitt worm can go that long undetected in an aquarium, imagine how easily they can attack unsuspecting divers. Number 8. Megamouth shark. Sadly, because of mainstream media and some surfing incidents, sharks already have a bad name for themselves. They're seen as underwater murderers, hunting after innocent humans while the Jaws theme song plays on repeat. The megamouth shark doesn't help this image. With its angry expression and massive mouth, the megamouth was discovered in 1976, and few have been seen ever since. These sharks dwell in depths of the ocean that most divers never explore, and it's lucky for equipment to even catch a glimpse of these underwater nightmares. They can grow usually up to 18 feet in length, and well over 2,000 pounds in weight. Most people see them as unsettling creatures because of their wide mouth, which is a rubbery consistency that flies open and can devour anything in its path. The good news is that this massive and threatening shark only eats plankton and is relatively harmless. Number 7. Giant spider crab. Known better as the Japanese spider crab, this 8-legged sea creature has the greatest leg and arm span of any other arachnopod. 2 legs from claw to claw can reach to about 18 feet, making the stance for this crab truly massive. These amazing tall and wide crabs serve no threat to humans. Even possible divers in their territory are more likely to scare it away before it hurts anyone. Most of the creepy factor from this magnificent sea creature is attributed to its obvious resemblance to the spider. A common fear for many is arachnophobia, and this giant spider from the ocean is sure to trigger that. Many people, when seeing this crab, imagine it to be a massive pink spider from land, and it just gives everyone the shivers. Though some may be glad that the crab has been put on a conservation list due to common fishery, it's actually a sad fact for our deep sea spider friends. Number 6. Gulper eel. Better known as the pelican eel, this deep-sea creature is rather seen by humans and has made a name for itself by its appearance. The gulper eel swims around near the deepest parts of the ocean, using its net-like mouth to gather small crustaceans, or even smaller fish and plankton. Despite its huge mouth, which many say resembles a weapon, the pelican eel has very few teeth that are usually dull. The eel is usually dark brown to black in color. It uses a thin and whip-like tail to get around in the ocean, and has very small eyes for making use of dark environments. This dark color, in addition to its slithering tail and massive mouth, makes the eel look almost demonic or alien-like. It truly looks like the type of dark, shadowy creature you'd find hiding under your bed at night, or in your worst nightmares. Lucky for most people, the gulper eel resides about 1,600 to 9,800 feet below the ocean surface, meaning most of us will never come across one in our lifetime. Number 5. Giant oarfish, otherwise known as the king of herrings, or streamer fish. This long ribbon-like fish slides its way through oceans across the globe. Oarfish have even been spotted in polar regions, where it would seem unlikely for them to be located. In most cases, this giant fish reaches up to 36 feet in length, though there are unconfirmed reports of giant oarfish as long as 56 feet in length. The long fish has dorsal fin trailing the tops of its body from beneath its eyes all the way to the end of its tail. On top of the oarfish head is a red, crown-like crest, which was what led to the nickname King of Herrings. The oarfish feeds on other small fish and squid. Many people believe this fish is what was seen during historical serpent sightings. The serpent is a deadly snake-like creature that fishermen and sailors have reported for centuries. From a distance, if the oarfish were to swim up through the water, some may think it to be larger than it is. The most unsettling detail about this fish is merely its size. Should the fish ever attempt to attack a fisherman, and some have reported this to happen, it could cause some serious damage. Number 4. Terrible claw lobster. This tiny lobster, only 1 inch in length, gains its name from its one elongated and dangerously sharp claw. The lobster was discovered in 2007 by the Census of Marine Life in the Philippines. Officially named Dinochelys osubeli, is white and reddish in color, with a mostly transparent exterior. It has an upward pointing tail and its claw resembles 2 combs facing one another, with many sharp teeth facing one another. There are no real dangers associated with this tiny lobster-like creature. The only real threat is its long sharp claw, which is used to protect against predators. Some have, however, mentioned that the claw makes it appear as though the lobster is holding a chainsaw, which gives it a little extra dose of terrifying. Number 3. The predatory tunic. To some, this fish just looks like a floating plastic bag, and others have compared it to a ghostly figure. The predatory tunic anchors itself along the walls of canyons and the seafloor. The tunic sits in place with its mouth floating open, and when small fish, crustaceans or plankton come across, it traps them quickly and sucks them into its digestive tract. The tunic is like a deep-sea equivalent of a jellyfish and Venus flytrap hybrid. The creature certainly is no threat to humans on land, but it's quite an eerie sight considering how ghostly it does look. Number 2. Goblin shark. This shark, named cleverly after its appearance, which resembles an evil goblin, is said to be part of a breed over 125 million years old that has evolved only slightly throughout time. The deep-sea shark has a pink to gray tone, with an elongated and flattened snout. The goblin shark has a strong protruding jaw with countless razor-sharp teeth that can push out to the length of the snout when hunting for food. The shark can grow to as long as 15 feet long. These sharks are usually found deeper than 300 feet, which means it's completely within the limits of deep diving equipment. The goblin shark mostly feeds on small fish and crustaceans, and is known for being rather sluggish and slow, even when hunting for food. Before we get to number 1, my name is Chills and I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you've ever been curious as to what I look like in real life, then follow me on Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT. I also have a Twitter at YTChills where I post video updates. I'd really appreciate it if you followed me, and feel free to send me a DM if you have any questions or suggestions. Number 1. The Ningen. Unlike other entries on this list, the Ningen is more of an urban legend than a factual being. The rumors of this cryptid began just a few years ago, with several claims from fishermen and explorative scientists alike. Many say that the cryptid looks human, having legs and arms and 5-fingered hands. However, they can also claim the creature is solid white in color and has a very marine-like face, with only a white mouth and 2 black eyes. Although descriptions vary and some have asserted that the creature has tentacles or a fin, sightings have mostly been sourced to the Atlantic Ocean or off the coasts of Japan. There is no solid evidence to prove the existence of the ningen. However, it seems more and more likely for a deep-sea creature this unsettling to truly exist. It's very possible it has just not yet been discovered yet. This video allegedly shows some footage of the ningen, though it's very distant and of poor quality.